Hello and welcome to the forum. Today I'm Karen Augustine, your host, and today we will be placing the spotlight on one of the world's most successful companies in the health and wellness industry. I am, of course, talking about the multiple award-winning Usana. And joining us today we have Jim Brown, the CEO of Usana, as well as Brent Neidig, the Chief Commercial Officer of Usana. Welcome and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Pleasure to be here.
For people who may have not heard of Usana or maybe the uninitiated, can you give us a little bit of a backstory about Usana?
Yeah, Usana was founded about 32 years ago in the United States. We're now in 25 different markets around the world. Our vision is to be the healthiest family on earth, and our mission is to empower the individual. We have set a goal for ourselves to be 1 million families strong. Right now we're about half that at 500,000, so it's an achievable goal, but it is a stretch. When we look at the company itself, we're all about our core values, and those values are excellence, integrity, community, and health. But we want to expand the health and wellness industry throughout the world, and again, achieve that healthiest family on earth.
Can you tell us a bit about how Usana started out?
Yeah, so our founder is Dr. Myron Wentz, and he's a scientist. And we again started 32 years ago, and we branched out from basically the US into North America, and then have spread into Asia Pacific over that amount of time in the 25 markets. And again, our focus is always having the highest premium science-based products with an opportunity for people as well to grow financially.
So science has always been at the heart of what Usana does.
Yes.
And right now, more than 30 years on, what are the primary areas that Usana is focusing on?
Yeah, right now, of course, we'll always maintain our focus on science. We want to continue to have products that people want to share and are premium and different from other products around the world. Our focus really is on direct selling. That's our business model and how we compete, and our independent distributors, our associates. We want to make sure that we arm them with the tools they need to be able to share the vision and have people join and use our products and grow and continue to grow.
In relation to that, about the company, now it was established more than 32 years ago, and how has it evolved over the last 3 decades?
Yeah, it's evolved in a few ways. First is, going into 25 markets, we need to make sure that we're giving an opportunity from the product side as well as the opportunity from an income or financial side. So evolution has happened on each of those markets. Those markets are different. The requirements from regulatory and legal requirements, we have to make sure we're in the best case scenario, again, to offer that opportunity. So every time we add a market, we just added India to our portfolio last December. We need to make sure that we're offering great products from the India standard as well as that opportunity. So it's almost evolves as we launch different countries. We have to make sure that we're relevant in those markets.
And speaking of expanding, what do you think are the greatest challenges in expanding internationally?
Yeah, I think the greatest challenges are also one of the biggest benefits, and it's the people in those countries, what their expectations are, and how as a company we can meet and exceed those expectations. So when they share the Usana story, there's something there that people want to join us. So when we get into different cultures, different languages, we're in 25 markets with, the language barriers can be immense. You go into a country like China that has hundreds of dialects, it gets very complicated. So it's always trying to make sure that we're matching what the people in that market need.
And what do you think is the most, when you start with the Usana story, that's one of the most essential things for people who are just starting off?
Yeah.
What is the most outstanding thing about that story to you? What stands out about the story itself compared to maybe other brands?
Yeah, I think what sets us apart, again, is our science and the fact that Dr. Wentz is a scientist and he founded the company. He's still involved from a science standpoint. He lets the executive team run the company, but his heart is always in science and trying to make sure our products meet his expectations. And I think people lead with that, and they know that we're more than just an opportunity. We're really believers in our products, and to meet the needs of our individual contractors around the world, we have to have those premium products.
Do you think that form of transparency in how much science goes into it, and also the various stages that you guys have for product testing and all that, do you think that plays a role in the ability to sort of motivate people to want to make things better with Usana in that sense?
Yeah, so we're here in Malaysia at an Asia Pacific convention. We also have a global convention that we have in Salt Lake City, and in that facility we can show our manufacturing, and that's the heart of the people who come. They want to go tour and look at the science, look at our lab, look at our machines, to really get belief in the fact that what we say is in our products are really there, and that they can count on Usana always having the most premium products in the world.
I think we spoke about this earlier about the edge, and there's so many brands in today's world, especially when it comes to wellness and nutrition. But what do you think, apart from the science, what do you think stands out about Usana?
I think it's the company's mission and trying to really make a difference in the world. Another area that we have a Usana Foundation. It's our charity, and we're in 30 plus countries. We're trying to make a difference. We have a program called Garden Towers, and it's really the ability in a small footprint to grow vegetables, and we're taking that across the world to try and help countries that are really struggling with food and even income opportunities to be able to grow their own vegetables. It sets us apart as well, and we want people to join Usana because they want to be part of something bigger and be part of the family.
So,
and
like
I think
a community, would you say?
Yes, definitely a community is a great way to describe it.
Of course, science and innovation has always been at the core of what Usana does. What do you feel are some of the most groundbreaking products that Usana has come up with over the last couple of years?
Yeah, so you look at our portfolio, we have 50 plus products, and then we have skincare products and food products, but we really have a couple products that are the ones that are outstanding that most people lead with, and they're both multivitamins, and one of them is our Cell Essentials, and another one is a My Health Pack, which is sort of the same, but it's in an easy format that you can carry. Those are the ones that people will lead with, and that gives you what you need in general to be healthier. And then we have optimizers that really address different areas of your body. So most people put together either Cell Essentials or a My Health Pack with an optimizer to then have something that meets the needs of that customer at the time.
So it's very personalized in a way?
Yes.
Okay. I'll just move to Brent for a while. So Brent, I have read that you are one of the youngest members of Usana's management team. So what I'm curious to know is, what are some of the shifts in attitude when it comes to health and wellness that you've observed?
I am young, but that's not a bad thing. As I've been able to travel all over the world, I've been with Usana for 18 years, and I've been able to go to nearly all of our markets around the world. It's been interesting to see the shift in people's ideology towards nutrition and wellness over the last 20 years. We saw a massive shift during COVID, that there was this tremendous amount of care and concern that people were placing on their health. And it didn't matter if you were old, middle-aged, or young. People now realize health is something I must control, I must take ownership over, and I must do something about in order to improve my health span. So that's something, a shift that I think we haven't really seen over the last couple of decades.
Right.
Is that more and more people are really concerned about their health, and they want to take control over their own destiny. It's been an interesting shift to watch.
What strategies does Usana employ to adapt and appeal to this evolving preferences of the younger generation?
I think not only the younger generation, but middle-aged and older people, everyone is always constantly shifting. As people progress throughout their life, their ideas and their desires, their needs continually change. And with the pace of technology nowadays, that change is becoming more and more rapid. So as a company, it's our opportunity to try to meet those consumers where they're at and address the needs of those consumers as they age from adolescence all the way till the end of their life. So our main focus is to, number one, meet the consumer where they're at. As Jim mentioned, we've got a very robust product offering. One of our key technologies in our product is called intelligence. And this technology is unique to Usana. It's patented, and through our deep commitment to science, our scientists have been able to come up with this unique blend of ingredients that are specifically tailored for every individual. When you consume those products, it creates a reaction within your cells to create a response to help prevent you from creating major issues in your body in the future. It's a remarkable technology, and it's something that we really care deeply about. So in the product space, one of the areas that we're really focused on is ensuring that every market's offering is unique to that market. We're in 25 countries and markets around the world, and the more you start to grow internationally, the harder it becomes in order to develop products that are specific to Malays, that are specific to the Chinese, that are specific to the Indians, and specific to Western cultures. So what we've tried to do internally is completely change the way that we develop product and ensure that we're always seeking market feedback and market voice of customer and our distributor, our key partners, to understand what it is that their needs are, the consumers that they're servicing, so that we can develop products that meet those needs.
So would you say you're working backwards in that sense, where you're going to the consumer first and then finding solutions for it?
We're always looking at market research, market intelligence. We have a very robust research and scientist team who are constantly looking at new formulations, new products, new ingredients. Those are two very important pillars, the market research and what our research and development team is doing. But the third, and I think arguably the most critical, is the voice of our distributor and consumer. And that, we have to get that from the front line. And as we incorporate that into these other two elements, we can really create a very robust product offering.
Okay. Speaking of going global, we're going through pretty unprecedented times in terms of geopolitical issues and economic downturn and all these things. So I was just wondering, what measures does Usana devise in order to maintain its competitiveness in the market?
Geopolitics is a tricky thing, and if we could control it, we would hopefully ask for a more peaceful time around the world. But it's something we can't control. You can only try to work within the system. I think the fortunate thing for Usana is that the product and the opportunity that we provide is relevant in every country, in every market around the world. It doesn't matter what the government situation is like, it doesn't matter what the economic situation is like. Everyone cares about health, and they're looking for ways to improve their situation. So I think that's a strategic strength for Usana as we've entered all these 25 markets, as we look to expand further around the world, is that we're providing an offering and an opportunity that really is, it's not political, really is immune to economic downturns and distress. And as long as we continue to provide a strong value proposition, which we do, we feel that it's going to continue to be relevant now and in the future.
Have your marketing approaches changed throughout these conditions, these very challenging times?
I touched on it briefly about product development, but in terms of marketing, sales strategies, we're doing better to empower each of our regional sales leaders and our market leaders so that they have the resources that they need in order to act nimbly and quickly to the rapidly changing situation on the ground. Historically, we've been very focused and centralized in our headquarters back in the United States. We're trying to divest that and put more authority and responsibility within the market's hands. They know the market better. They are on the ground. They have the relationship with the consumer and with our key partners, our distributors. And through that very rapid communication, they can develop their own marketing content, use the own social channels that work best within the market.
Right, so sort of localize it.
Exactly.
if you can. Okay. Usana has been honored quite a number of prestigious awards in terms of, honors over the years, including one of the top rated direct selling brands. I think you guys have won it a couple of times. When it comes to the landscape of direct selling, we've seen fluctuations over time. At one point in time, people didn't really want to be associated with direct selling, and then it has changed through the years. So I'm curious, what are your observations regarding the perception of direct selling when it comes to today's market? Has it changed in any way?
I think it's always changing. Direct selling's been around for over 100 years, and I believe it'll be around for another 100 years. The reason why I believe direct selling is so compelling of an opportunity is because regardless of the era which you live, regardless of your age, people are always looking to people they trust, people they know for recommendations. At the most basic principle, that's what direct selling is you're sharing what it is that you love, what it is that you care about with people that you love and care about. And that's why direct selling is powerful, because there's that connection. You would never sell something to a friend that it would be harmful to your friend, right? And that's what makes direct selling very compelling. I think perception does change over time, and that fluctuates with media and with the situation in each respective market. We believe firmly in direct selling, and we believe that it will continue to be a compelling opportunity for people all over the world, not only to improve their health, but to also improve their financial situation. I've been able to travel to so many countries around the world and see firsthand how many people's lives have been touched and changed through this opportunity. Not only do you provide health and wealth, but you can also provide this wonderful community, which I think in this day and age is so important. We lack this interpersonal connection as we spend all day on our cell phones and on screens. That's why we're here in Malaysia, is to create this wonderful event where people from 11 different countries around the region can come here and have a fantastic weekend. It's what people need.
How have you guys, I mean, you've got 25 markets around the world, how have you fostered that sense of community among your associates?
Yeah, I think even internally with 25 markets, and we have a big footprint in the US, we have a big footprint in China, but a lot of our markets have much smaller teams and there's a distance. So again, like I talked about earlier, what we really concentrate is our core values and who we are as a company and building that community. And this event is great for the associates who've come in, our salespeople around the world, but as well as the 100+ employees that are here. We want to build community, build belief with them as well. It's always a challenge, right? But you know, when we talk about direct selling, we talk about everything. What Usana can do is be ethical and have our right beliefs and systems in place. And that's about all we can control, right? We can't control what other people do, but it's very important to us to be someone to look up to.
Speaking of the convention itself, could you just give us a bit of a background about Usana's conventions in general? Why is it such an important event in the Usana calendar?
We've grown so big. We used to have one international convention a year, and that was held in Salt Lake City, Utah, where our headquarters are at. But as our presence in Asia Pacific has grown, we've felt that there's a need, once again, to localize. There's so many, there's a big Chinese community here, and Korean community, and for a lot of those people to try to make it to the United States every year is not very feasible. So we can bring the event and the party to the people. So we have this Asia Pacific convention each year. China is also an extremely large market for Usana, and we've been able to create an annual convention in China. We actually just came from there this last week, where we had 17,000 people from across China attending this event. So as we localize these events, then people who are like-minded, who share similar cultures, language, backgrounds, and beliefs can come together and enjoy this Usana community, which we think is so powerful, and it really does change people's lives.
Yeah, I think it really is a growth opportunity. You know, the associates come in for belief, motivation, to get leadership advice, but one of the things that really is effective is for them to network with other markets to find out what's working, maybe what's not, but it is an opportunity to learn and then use that for themselves to grow their business as well. So on stage, when we get up there, someone will talk about the fact that this is an opportunity to network. Please take the time to find 1, 2, or 3 new relationships to build upon and understand what's making their business very successful.
I mean, we've already talked a little bit about it, but we live in such a connected world, but yet we're all very disconnected. And so if you're from a small village in Thailand and you're part of Usana, and you maybe don't know that many people in your area that are part of Usana, but yet you come to this event and you see a mother from Korea who has completely transformed her life, and you hear her story, it really has a way of inspiring you. And then you share this event with 9,000 other people, and you realize, I'm part of something much bigger than myself, and there's all these people who share in a similar belief system as me. It really is a powerful experience.
There's a great sense of belonging
Yes.
in that sense. What was the reason behind choosing Malaysia to host this year's Asia Pacific convention?
Well, Malaysia's the best, right? That's why we came here. Malaysia is one of Usana's strongest markets, and we see a tremendous opportunity for Malaysia in the future. We have very high expectations for the growth of the market here. And by bringing our event here, it's showing our belief and trust in this market to continue to grow. You see here, we also have the #1 combination dietary supplement brand award for Malaysia. Our product is very well received here. We've got a lot of momentum, and it just is only right and fitting to bring our event here.
And this is the first time you're hosting it in Malaysia?
Yeah.
Okay. Usana has, of course, made some huge impacts in Asia, Asia Pacific, and also China. We just entered India as well. And it was recognized as the #1 vitamin dietary supplement brand in the Philippines last year.
Yep.
And most recently at the Korean Medical Healthcare Awards, where Usana snagged up quite a few awards as well. What makes this particular region such an exciting space for Usana?
I'll speak from China's perspective. The last 8 years I've been working in China and trying to grow that business. China for decades has had a one-child policy. So you have 2 parents, 4 grandparents, 6 adults who pour every ounce of their energy, time, and resources into the development of this one child. You want to give that person every opportunity for them to be successful in their life. You want to give them the best education, you want to give them the best health, and part of that is making sure that they're supplementing properly. Similarly, as a parent, you also want to make sure that you have the best opportunity as well, so you want to supplement yourself. I think there's this strong sense of care and concern for themselves and for their family members, and so there's this really strong desire to find the best supplement out there to support their efforts. And naturally, our quality is so high. We take so much pride in self-manufacturing and having unique and differentiated products that it's just received such high recognition and awards all over Asia, China especially. We feel very proud of what we've accomplished.
You were talking about self-manufacturing earlier. Do you feel that that is one of the things that stand out about Usana?
Yeah, I think it really does. I mean, we don't manufacture all of our products, but right now about 75% are self-manufactured. And it's an ability for the company to control its quality, its R&D, make sure that we are making the products to our standards, which are very high. Of course, those standards meet the FDA, the TGA in Australia, the CFDA in China. So we're adhering to all the regulations, but our standards are very high. And if you're doing it yourself, you can control costs, you can control logistics, and the whole list goes on. The products that we don't do ourselves are usually something we've introduced and it's just not big enough yet to do. But over time, in my perfect world, we produce everything.
During COVID, there was a tremendous amount of disruption to global supply chains, to manufacturing plants. And we were very fortunate, the fact that we do self-manufacture, that we were able to continue to produce throughout all of COVID so that we could continue to supply our customers around the world. That's incredibly important for us. If you're going to trust, if you've bought into the belief of supplementing your nutrition through a supplement, you need to take it daily, and you need to take it for a long time. You can't afford to go 6 months or a year without taking the product. So that's a key strategy for Usana, is to control its quality and its destiny through self-manufacturing.
And you saw that difference during the COVID period.
Absolutely.
So early on, we were talking about how long Usana has been around, 32 years, and I would say the heart of it is science and also direct selling. So one of the questions I have is, what is the key to longevity with Usana? How have they stayed above the competition for so long?
Not many companies make it 30 years. And I think that's a testament to many things. First and foremost is the vision of the company to create health. Second is the product and how effective the product is and how unique and differentiated it is. And I think third is the compellingness of our direct selling opportunity that we provide. If you look at just employees for the company, the employee average tenure is close to 10 years, which means that's quite high. And the reason being is that it's such a great place to work. The community, everyone that is there, they've bought into the vision, they've bought into the values, they've had their lives changed through the products, and they've grown healthier. So employees stick around. And that goes to the same thing for our distributors, our trusted partners, is when they come on board, number one, they get attached to the vision, and that really has affected them. And they really want to go out and not only change their own health, but the health of their family members, their friends, and their community. And as they go out and share, they realize that they can actually be quite successful in this business. The product is effective, and like I said before, in order for that product to really be long-term effective, you have to take it every single day, every single month, every single year. We found that when customers take our product for a year, they typically never stop taking the product because it's made such a difference to their lives. And for that reason, that's helped our distributors to be able to grow very sustainable businesses that have been able to grow and grow and grow and really provide a career opportunity for these people all over the world. I think that's what one of the competitive advantages for Usana is. One, the uniqueness of our opportunity, and then two, the competitiveness of the product. It creates sustainability and encourages people to stay for a very, very, very long time.
Speaking of sustainability, Usana does have quite a number of initiatives when it comes to environmental governance and social aspects of things. So I think one of the interesting things is that Newsweek was actually named Usana one of America's most responsible companies in 2024, which is quite recently. So could you maybe tell us a bit about some of the initiatives that you've conducted over the years?
Yeah, sure. ESG has become very powerful, and it's in the news, and it's something that's driving a lot of companies to do the right thing. We've always thought at Usana that we were doing the right thing anyway, but it's so interesting to see, especially with the newer generation coming up, how important what the company does and what it represents and how it does it is to them. They want to be part of a community. Great products is important, but they want to make sure the company is someone they want to stand behind and share. So our ESG efforts, we have a whole program involved. We look at it in three areas: people, product, and planet. So from the people side, we want to make sure that we're very diverse. We have all cultures and demographics involved in our own people that we hire as employees, but as well as the associates that come in. We want to be very open-minded and invite everybody to join Usana. Product, we've talked about a lot, right? To have great products, but how are they produced and where do the nutrients come from is very important to us as well. And then planet. Reducing our footprint. When we go and do tours at our Salt Lake facility, we show our solar panels that are helping charge up our batteries, and we have battery operated cars, and the list goes on, but we want to reduce our footprint in the world. We have a report that we update every year. It's an annual report, almost 50 pages, that shows all the steps. Very proud of that. It's an expectation in today's world, and we want to stay at the forefront of that.
Has it affected the way people view Usana for the youth to join the company looking at your sustainable efforts?
Yeah, I think it really has. Even when we're hiring someone now, people take a look at your company to see exactly how you scored, their scorecards now, and they want to make sure that they want to join the company as an employee and make a difference. And it goes to our associates that are at this convention as well. They want to make sure when they're sharing that product that they're proud of the product and it's different, but they're also proud of the company. So I think it's very important to make sure that you're being very diverse in how you look at things, and the people that you bring on is a representation of the company, and we want it to be very, very vast.
What would you say are some of the most outstanding initiatives that Usana has taken in terms of their ESG efforts?
Yeah, when we look at it, it's very tough in our environment when we look at our products, right? Most of our products come in a plastic container. So we've reduced the size of those containers. We've gotten material that is recyclable. But that's going to be an ongoing challenge, and it goes through everything, even our shipping, smaller boxes, less fillings inside, things that we're going to go into the waste. We want to make sure we're not doing it and use as much recycled material as well. But I think the most important thing is our overall program, and it's vast. Like I said, it's about a 50-page report that goes through people, planet, and products to make sure we are very systematic and strategic on the initiatives that we put into place.
I think that's all the time we have for today. And I'm sure there's a lot more for you to share, and a lot more of your associates will be looking forward to some of the things you have to share over the next couple of days. Before we end, what can people expect at this year's convention?
High energy, a lot of outstanding speakers that were brought in. We want to showcase not only our executives that we have from around the company, but really highlighting our phenomenal distributors that we have and the difference they've made in their respective markets. We also have some Olympic athletes that are going to be here with us today. I don't know if you know this, but we have one of arguably the most amount of Olympic, professional, and elite athletes of any company in the world that have partnered with us because they trust in our product. So at all these events, we love to showcase our athlete partnerships, and we've got the Paris Olympics that are coming up right around the corner, and we're very excited to see what they do. So there's gonna be a lot of energy, a lot of excitement, great speakers, great content. We've got a very large expo area where people can go and experience. So you definitely don't want to miss out on an event like this.
I think it's really exciting that there's going to be some athletes here that people might not, have the chance to ever meet.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, well, that brings us to the end of today's discussion. A big thank you to Jim Brown, as well as Brent Neidig for joining us today, and for sharing your valuable insights on Usana. Thank you very much for joining us, and we hope you'd enjoyed all the perspectives and information here on the show today. So remember, if you want to stay connected with us more, just stay tuned. And until next time, stay healthy and stay inspired. Thank you.